Hey, are you looking to achieve your goals? Well, here are 10 tips you need to follow in any setting to achieve them, so stick around. Well, if you want to learn a little bit more about me or what my channel has to offer, check out my cards here. I have an identity tag where you can learn a lot more about me and also my intro video about what my channel has to offer. Basically, it comes down to giving more value to the viewer. So these 10 things actually came from my organizing experience, and they're technically called the organizer commandments. So I'm actually just kind of changing them up just a little bit so that it's applicable for all of the viewers out there. So the first one is never do for others what they can do for themselves. And what this really comes down to is making sure that you're delegating as much as possible off of your plate. So when someone asks you to do something, you definitely need to be able to figure out if that's something that is going to be effective for what you're looking to achieve, or if it's not. And if it's not, you can say no rather than taking on more onto your plate. The second thing is be an organizer. It all comes down to is making sure that the building blocks are there so that you can get to the next step or to the next thing that has to be done. Prioritize your work. You'll be able to complete more tasks. The third rule that you need to follow is making sure that you're using your phone and any other technology by your side. Whether that means you have to go to the library or that means that you just have to sit down in your room on your laptop or your desktop, whatever. Use the technology that you have, and especially if you have a phone, you could literally create an entire YouTube channel with just your phone. And I mean that sincerely. Maybe you're following up on a lead and someone says, hey, like I know this person that would help scale your business. Ask them to call them right now. Do it right now. If that person is right by your side, use your best friend and get them to grow your business. I mean, I think this is forgotten a lot in business conversations, but they can do anything that they said they will do right now. That just really brings me to the next rule to follow, which is time is your most valuable asset, and I'm sure that you've heard this a million times, but you need to really apply yourself during the time at hand. The only thing that you can change is the present. You can't change the past, you can't change the future. You can change the outcomes of what happens right now, but you can't necessarily change the future. The next rule I want to follow is talking about how you should never use vague language. Think about it, like think about a giveaway. You're not gonna say, if you could like this, like this video soon. Like, don't say that. You're gonna say, like this video now, and you can enter my giveaway. And you will be, like not even using like this vague language. You have to use really strong and specific language. You like this video now and you will be entered into my giveaway. Just like that. And think about how effective that would be rather than you saying, if you like this video, you could be entered to possibly win a thing. No one would enter. So make sure you're using specific language. Soon is not a time. Some is not a number. Many is not a number. Just make sure you're saying specific things. The next rule to follow is to never be fooled, to never fall down, to never break. And really what that comes down to is being unflappable. And what that means is if someone does something that really irks you or maybe hurt you or made it harder for you to reach your goal, don't freak out. It's okay. Things happen, and you really need to make sure that you're flexible and that you are willing to adhere to the new set of guidelines or the new set of rules or the new things that you need to do, and just go from there, because you can't change the past. You only have right now. Again, time is most valuable, and so they hurt your business, they hurt your whatever. You need to start from where you are now. No matter what you're doing every day, start with what you have now and you will grow. I was talking to a subscriber during one of my live sessions on YouTube, which by the way, if you want to learn when I have a live session on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and have that notification bell, because it will let you know when I do that, and I can give you some advice one-on-one, or well, mostly one-on-one because I have no viewers. But I was talking to one of the subscribers about how they can make change in their personal lives, and change and progress are two different things. You can have bad change and also good change, and we're really looking for that good change, which would be progress. And so to have happiness or to have progress, you need to start with what you have now and go up. The next rule I want to say is to find an accountability buddy, and sometimes I call them accountability buddy. And this is someone that can track where you are and make sure that you are making progress. They can give you support and feedback when necessary, making sure that you are held accountable. If you're just holding yourself accountable, it's going to be a lot harder than if you had someone else by your side holding you accountable, because they'll nudge you and push you and ask you questions. When's your next video coming out? When is your next event? Whatever it is, they're going to ask you, they're going to keep you accountable. The next rule is know your lane and stay in it. Your lane, if you will, just is what work you personally need to do to get to your goal. And that can work in any team structure. If you're a supervisor, your lane would be supervising and making sure that you're hitting your team's goals. If you are maybe, let's say, one of the employees under the supervisor, you want to make sure that you know your goal and you are staying in your lane to get there. The next rule I want to make sure everyone follows is very similar to rule number 5. Rule number 5 was not to use vague language. Number 9 is that maybe, the word maybe, or possibly, or we'll see, is not a yes, it's a no. And we really should not count on anybody who says maybe or possible, because it just won't happen. If you do get a maybe or a possibly, it's time for you to go back to the original question. Make sure you're reiterating the urgency and why this is of interest for the person, and also give them the specifics of what needs to happen, by what time, and any other pertinent details. Without those expectations, the person is not going to do it. The final rule that you need to follow to be successful or to reach your goals is making sure you're tracking everything. And I don't know how to make sure that you know how important this is. Tracking will look different for every single person and every single lane that we're working in. For example, if you're working on building a list, you need to make sure that you're getting everybody's name and information, contact information, down and in a database somewhere. If you don't do that, it is like it never happened. It was like as if those hours you spent getting that information just did not happen. So if you have an event and there's an event list and people sign in and you don't enter it into your database will just be a failure, because you're gonna have to pull from those names, let's say, to send emails out, to make sure people know that you have a sale going on. You have to call them for certain information. You want to ask them to vote, whatever it is, you need to get that information into your tracking system. Thank you so much for sticking around for the whole video. This is going to be one of my first videos in a series of videos for empowerment and improving your daily lives, making sure that you can achieve certain goals, etc.